So a lot of people, when we talk about ectopic pregnancies and tubal pregnancies and things like that, so here's a lot of information I'm about to put forward that they don't teach you in medical school. And this is because they don't teach parasitology. And if they do, it's probably the basics of parasitology. And even then, they don't teach you the importance of not consuming things that have microscopic biofilms and parasites contained in them, such as the foods that we consume every day, meat and dairy, and even in our water, in our shower and stuff like that. Parasites can go through the skin, the eggs can go through the skin, into the skin tissue, into the blood, and they can hatch, and they can also infect the blood, which can become blood cancer. They can go into the pancreas and feed off of your natural insulin, and this becomes a form of what we call diabetes. And that will be another subject for another day, because we already know that when glucose spikes up, that feeds the infection that becomes cancer. These parasites don't break down in the gut. What they do is they go down into the testicles and they lay dormant until the sperm can transmit them from the man to the woman. And once the sperm go into the woman, it latches onto the uterine wall, right? So when the woman conceives, she's not only conceiving a fetus, she's conceiving a parasite. But the difference is the fetus goes into the egg. The parasite is on outside of the uterus and on the outside of the egg. And the bacteria is infecting that fetus. So now the neurotransmitters that's supposed to put that fetus into formation of growing stagnates the growth, and it stops the pattern of what is going on inside of the egg. I tell a lot of women that when you lay down and give birth, your womb shifts 90 degrees because you're not supposed to be laying down giving birth. And when you lay down and give birth and your womb shifts 90 degrees, your womb is connected to your central nervous system, which has an equilibrium that runs north to south. And so when the equilibrium is thrown off due to your womb being shifted after you give birth, that sends stress signals to the brain, causing depression signals to go down the central nervous system, affecting your vertebrae. This is why your back hurt after giving birth as well. And this is why you're also depressed, because cortisol builds up inside of the bloodstream. So there's a lot of stuff they don't tell you in school. They say things to you that only give you enough where they can control you, where you can't actually expose what's going on. Because a tubal pregnancy is when a woman is pregnant with the fetus and a parasite, toxoplasma parasite. And as I said before, when a miscarriage occurs, this is parasites inside of the sac with the fetus attacking it. And it ruptures the sac, causing an early birth. And this is what you call a miscarriage. So again, parasites is 95% the problem of everything from cancer to STDs, to pregnancy issues, to mental issues. Because when a man eats tons and tons of meat, not only does these parasites go down into the testicles to affect the sperm, some of them go up the central nervous system into his brain. And you have to understand that sperm comes from where? Sperm comes from the brain. Inside of the sac, inside of your testicle sac, you have a vein that runs all the way up to the brain. And so when the brain is infected with parasites, right, that vein is infected. So once that vein is infected, it infects the sperm. So now when you are having sex with your significant other and you shooting into her, this is giving her STDs, HPV, BV is lowering her pH, building fibrin up, which becomes fibroids. It even stops her proteolytic enzymes from making the proper conversions inside of the gut. And this is why she's so obese after birth, because she has a lot of fibrin built up in her uterine wall. And this right here can actually affect the child as well, causing mental health issues later on in life. It won't happen right then and there, but it'll happen later on in life. And some children even end up with autism, which is a parasitic infection inside of the child by the toxoplasma parasite while it's in the womb, Watch what you are eating when you are pregnant. Watch whose sperm you are receiving, because what happens is parasites, their biggest travel from one person to another, which is a STI, a sexually transmitted infection, is through your partner. And also, this lowers your rate of being able to have healthy sperm when you are eating a lot of meat, man. Because again, this bacteria, what it does is it suppresses and stagnates your sperm cells and keeps it from reproducing other sperm cells. And if your sperm cells drop from the brain, because sperm is brain fluid, so when that sperm drop from your brain, when it's at a certain level of formation, it goes through the central nervous system, through the spine, and it drops into your testicles. So if you have parasites inside of your testicles, it will infect that sperm. And again, the next thing you do is you're going to have sex with your significant other, and now you are infecting her with an STI, which is really a STD, HSV1, HSV2, HPV. Your food have living things in it. It's just that because you can't see it, you don't have a perception of being careful. You don't care. What you don't see, you don't care about, when that should not be so. It's the microscopic stuff that's more detrimental to your health. And if I brought you into my laboratory and put some of this stuff under the microscope and let y'all see the stuff that's moving in it aggressively, the stuff that y'all are eating, you will get rid of this stuff. And some of you wouldn't. And that's scary. When we can actually show people what is inside of this stuff and they continue to consume the stuff that is playing on their mental health. Your food breaks down in the gut, which is connected to the brain. It's called the gut and brain connection. So if your food is stressed, if your food is traumatized before it died, these animals are stressed and traumatized. And it goes to the gut. And your gut has a vagus nerve that connects to the brain. And it has trauma running through the gut. Then the trauma is going to hit your brain, causing a chemical imbalance. Now you are having a reaction to the trauma from this animal, because the spirit of this animal is living through the genetic material that is passed to your RNA, to your DNA, and now you are becoming what you eat. That's a true saying. You are what you eat. So when you are getting pregnant, woman, make sure that you are planning accordingly. You got a man sleeping with you who eat meat all day, every day. And this meat was an animal who lived outside, slept outside with ticks crawling all over it, biting it, giving it Lyme disease. The animal was stressed, traumatized. And now he's spitting this sperm inside of you. And you wonder why you can't reproduce? Your body is not going to want to process that. In order for you to conceive, your body have to process some sort of balance, and that's not balance. Your body don't want to take in trauma, because you will give birth to trauma. You will give birth to stress. All right. I love y'all. Peace.